Where is our, this is the one, huh? Okay. Show hide dot html. I have one element is there, Sachin. Okay. I have one more element is there, don't. So I want Sachin only for access, only for access. If you run this file, so it is visible for, okay, it is visible for all resolutions or not. Sachin and Dhoni visible for each and every resolution or not. Sachin and Dhoni visible for each and every resolution or not. If you say this, okay, now see. It is visible for each and every resolution or not. But our requirement is what? Sachin, I want to display only for extra small. Only for extra small. Okay. Small onwards, I don't want to show. Only for extra small. Small onwards, I don't want to show. Okay. Resolutions tell me XS, SM, MD, LG, extra large, extra large. Okay. By default, element is visible for each and every. Okay. By default, element is visible for every resolution. Okay. But our requirement is what? I want to show, okay, only for access. Remaining all I don't want to show. So can I write like, okay, display, okay, hidden, display hidden. From which resolution? From SM resolution, right? From SM resolution. From SM resolution. If you not write like this, excess, okay, by default only it's visible. By default only visible for all resolutions. For example, if I write like this, display hidden, okay, let me get the class first. Bootstrap, get bootstrap. Okay, here go to utilities section, go to utilities, where is that? Utilities section, display. Okay, if you observe the display, uh, if you observe the display, okay, now here, say this d none, okay, d block, okay, d none, display none, okay. Now see, display none. For which resolution I want to stop? For SM resolution. For SM resolution. Okay. If I write like this, then what happened? You not written anything for access. By default, it is visible. So that, okay, display, okay, visible. By default, it is visible. Okay, the next resolution is what? Next resolution, SM. So display SM none. Okay, don't show this. Next resolution, MD. Okay, previous, okay, MD resolution, nothing is there for display. Then the time it's take what? The previous value or not. So here, display MD none or not. LG. LG there or not there? Not there. So display LG none or not. Okay, next one is like XL. There or not there? Not there. So previous value XL none or not. Okay, XXL. XXL. There or not there? Not there. So previous value display XXL none or not. Display XXL none or not. Okay, now if I run this, show hide, okay, first of all, add bootstrap, link relation equals to style sheet, link relation equals to style sheet, and href equals to what? Href equals to what? Okay, bootstrap.css, href equals to bootstrap.css. Okay, here by default, these two elements are like display block or display, no, display block. It is visible. But our requirement is what? I don't want to show, okay, this particular element, okay, from SM onwards, SM resolution onwards. So display none or not. Got my point? Now, can you come here? Can I refresh the page? See, my Sachin is not visible. Okay, for all resolutions except XX. Okay, now see this. Now it is visible. Now it is visible. Less than 576, it's like a XS. Okay, after that, remaining resolutions, it is not visible or not. Got my point? Okay. Dhoni, I want to show, okay, SM onwards. For excess, I don't want. Then Dhoni, I want to show SM onwards. Come on. If I run like, if I write like this, class display none, what it means? Class display none, what it means? Come on. Class display none. Class display none, what it means? No resolution, nothing is there. Default resolution is what? Default resolution is what? If you not mention any resolution, default resolution in Bootstrap what? XS. Okay, so XS. XS. Okay, so Dhoni is not visible. Okay, not display for XS resolution, extra small resolution. Dhoni is not visible for XS. Okay, extra small resolution. It's not visible. Not visible. What is my next level resolution? Next level resolution is what? MD. There are not there. SM next level. SM there are not there. Not there. So this is only carry forward. MD not there. So if I run this one, Dhoni is not visible for any resolution. Say this. Dhoni is not visible for any resolution. Can I save this? Okay. Dhoni is not visible for any resolution. Can I save it? Now say this. It is not visible for any resolution or not. Such is visible for access. Okay, my Dhoni is not visible for any resolution. But our requirement is, you want me to hide for all resolutions, or you want me to hide for only extra small? Only extra small. So can I do one thing? Can I make it visible from SM onwards? Now see this. Display none. For extra small, it's none. Next resolution is SM. There or not there? Yes, there. So that display SM block, it is visible for SM. Next resolution is what? MD. There are not there. So that the previous value only carry forward. Display MD block. Okay, LG block, extra large and extra large also. So it is visible for all the resolution expect XX or not, extra small or not. Extra small Sachin is visible. Okay, Dhoni not visible. Okay, Sachin is not visible for remaining. Dhoni is visible for remaining or not. Got my point? Agreed? Okay, like this, you can now you can understand this part. Okay, based on your requirement, there is a big image is there. I don't want to show, okay, that much space is there. I don't want to show in the mobile view. Then the time just you can hide this only for mobile view. Okay, see, display none. If I put this class, it is hide for all resolutions or not. Okay, display none, display SM block. Just we discussed. None, display none for access. For remaining all, it is like block. Block means visible, right? Hidden only for access. Exactly. If you want to hidden for only SM, okay, see this. By default visible. So my access visible. After that, I written like display SM none. After that, MD block. Why? It is only for SM. I want to make it like none. MD onwards, I want to show it again. Got my point? Great. Either you can use these classes, either you can use these classes, visible classes, hidden classes, any one of this one, you can use it. Okay. Okay, then. Any questions, anyone? Display flux, I will explain. I need to get some notes. Okay. Once I get it, I will explain about the display flux. Okay. I will explain. Don't worry about that. Okay. Any questions, anyone? Anyone have any questions? Shall we move to the next topic? Okay, grid system. Yesterday we discussed, right? In Bootstrap, grid system is nothing but it's like a row which contains 12 columns based on your requirement. Okay, just you can make it like hide show. Okay, that is like visible display none. Okay, display block. Okay, here based on the requirement in the row, how many ports you want me to give to? Okay, content. That one you can decide it. So the register.html, this one, right? We okay this. Okay, this is the one whole row. Okay, in the row there has 12 columns are there. Okay, first 5 columns are given to my username. Next 3 columns are given to my text box. Next 4 columns are given to my error message. Error message. So that one only we did here. See this in the registration. Okay, this is one row. Okay, this is one row. Inside the row, how many columns? 12 columns are there. First 5 columns are given to my username, and the text I want to make it like end. Okay, end. Okay, and this one is like a text box. Okay, the next 4 columns, please enter user ID, and this one given to our okay message, error message. Got my point? Okay, if you want to leave some space, then the time you can go with what? Offset. Okay, I want to leave, okay, from SM resolution, 5 ports I want to leave it. Okay, next 3 ports I want to give it to my registration. Otherwise, remaining all ports also you can give it to this particular registration button. Okay, if you not get the proper output, just compare with this one, what I written. Hidden and offset means offset leave the space. That's it. It leave the space. Okay, hidden means okay, total completely it is going to remove that element. Element is not visible. Okay, it is like space related stuff. It leaves some empty space and then it is going to start. Leave some empty space. Okay, still space is there. Okay, leave that space. After that, okay, 3 columns it is going to assign to register. Hidden means okay, this space also occupied by 3 only, but here 5 spaces empty still there. Leave 5 spaces. After that, you can start it. Got my point? Now see here, this is the register button, right? If I inspect it, okay, see 5 spaces, red shade is there, right? 5 spaces still there or not there? After 3 spaces, it is going to occupy. This particular one is not there. For example, if this is not there, okay, then the time see this, it is coming here or not. Hidden is nothing but the element, entire element is going to hide. Got my point? Okay, then. Okay. Okay, then let's start with the next level discussion is about JavaScript. Before start React, just I need, okay, I want to spend like 1 or 2 days in JavaScript. Okay. This knowledge is required to write your first hello world program in React. Okay, this JavaScript knowledge is required. Okay, let's start. Okay, as I said, okay, now onwards, if you want to write any JS program, okay, don't create any JS file, write that code and run that JS file. Don't do like that. Just use console. Okay, how you can open the console? How you can open the console? Open your browser, open any tab, just inspect it. Just inspect it. Okay, now this is my console. Okay, if it is like less space, okay, then the time do one thing. Okay, there has a dock is there, right? Okay, left side or right side, you can dock it. Okay, now see, you can get some more space or not. Here, you can write your JavaScript programs now onwards. Here, you can write your JavaScript programs now onwards. Got my point? Not only Chrome browser, any browser you can take it. You can find the developer console window. There you can run your JS programs. There you can run your JS programs. Okay. Okay. How we can write one program and how to execute? Okay, that one I will tell. Before that, my question is very simple. I have some facts. Facts is nothing but it may be number, it may be characters, it may be okay numbers and characters mixing, and it's like okay special characters or whatever it is. I have some data. I want to store the data. I want to store somewhere for future purpose. I want to store somewhere for future purpose. Then how we can store it? Okay, tell me. I'm not asking about any syntax or something. Okay, general question. How we can store some data for future purpose? Yeah, in a file we can store it, right? Yes or no? In a file, you can put something in future whenever you want. You can open that file and you can see your data or not. Yes or no? Okay, the next one is like, okay, if more data is there, then that time can I go with the database. Okay, huge data. Okay, database also not able to manage the data, then that time you can go with what? Warehouses. Okay, that one also not able to manage, then that time you can go with what? Clusters is nothing but, okay, just they put like multiple machines in a one area. Okay, now these are all are like external. Okay, in my machine I can create a file, I can store some data. Okay, in my machine I can install the software, I can store the data. These also softwares you can store the data. This is like a configuration mission, you have to take it and you can store the data. But my question is, okay, I have a program, I have a JavaScript program, or I have a Java program, or something. Okay, in that program, if you want to manage the data, if you want to store the data, okay, in my program there has 100 lines of code is there. In my line 1 I have some data. Okay, 100 lines of code is there. In my line 1 I have some data. Okay, that data I want to use in future in line number 100. Okay, in future is nothing but after first line. Okay, in my 100 line I require the data. That means in my program I want to store the data or not? Yes or no? In my program I want to store the data or not? Okay, how we can store the data in my program? It can be, okay, Java program or .NET program or JavaScript program, whatever it is. Okay, how we can store the data? How we can store the data in your program? In your program, how we can store the data? Okay, very simple, by using variables. Okay, did you heard about this terminology? By using variables. By using variables in your program, you can store some data. That data can be anything. That data can be anything based on your requirement. Can you tell me some data formats what you know? Can you tell me some data formats what you know? Okay, there has the data 100. Okay, this kind of data I can say like what? It is like a number data, right? Number data, right? Okay, I have Sachin. Okay, it's like a characters. Okay, it's a string kind of data, right? Okay, now for example, okay, one student, he passed or not passed. Can I say like either true or false? It is also one kind of data, right? Okay, something like floating. Okay, floating decimals. This is also one kind of data, right? Okay, the next one, come on, tell me. The next one, I have three players are there. Three players, not one player. Three players are there. Three players. Can I go with a list or array like this? Sachin, Dhoni, and Kohli. This is also one kind of data format, right? One kind of data format, right? I will explain. I will explain. For now, different data formats I want to show. Now, I want to tell something about Sachin. What you know about Sachin? What you know about Sachin? Okay, his name is like Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar. Okay, his runs are like 20,000. His hundreds are like 100, like this. You can say something about Sachin or not? You can say something about Sachin or not? Yes or no? It is like which format? It is like a object format. It is like a object format. I can say this is like a number. Okay, I can say this is like a string data. I can say this is like a Boolean data. I can say this is like a floating, okay, float data. And this one is like a list or array data. And this is, I can say like an object formatted data. Are you able to remember this one? different data formats. Don't think more. Different data formats. That's it. So any program you can take it. If you want to store some data, how we can store it? How we can store it? By using variables. Now in my JavaScript also, it is also a programming language. Okay, it is like a functional as well as object oriented. What is functional, what is object oriented, I will tell. Okay, in my JavaScript also I can store the data by using variables. So my question is, how we can store the data? By using variables. I know by using variables we can store it. Okay, how we can store the data? By using variables. That is my question. So can we go to our console now? Can we write our first line of code in our JavaScript? Okay, this is my console. Just okay, variable I want to create. In my JavaScript. If you want to create a variable, okay, we have the syntax. What is the syntax? Okay, the first one is like the name of the variable, the data of the variable. Okay, variable name and the data which you want to hold with that variable. Okay, the data. Otherwise you can say like a initial value. Got my point? So variable name, based on your data, you can put anything. For example, my name is like, okay, my value is like Sachin. Which variable name is the recommended one? Do you want me to put like amount? Is it the recommended name? You can put it, no problem at all. Do you want me to put this amount? Okay, here 1000 is my data. Do you want me to put like the name is like, okay, my name is like 1000. You want me to put like this? Is it the recommended name? 100% valid syntax. 100% valid syntax. No one asks. Variable name and variable value is like a valid syntax. But is it the recommended way of writing the code like this? Amount is like such a name is like 1000. No, right? Based on the data, okay, you can decide the variable name. You can put some variable name. Got my point? So now can you go to my console? Just write it. What is my variable name? My data is 1000. Okay, what is my variable name? Recommended variable name. Okay, can I put like amount is my variable name? Just can I put like 1000? Can I click on enter? Okay, now I written one statement like this. When that statement will execute in your console, whenever you click on enter, that is nothing but that statement got executed. Now, yes, I created one variable that holds 1000. So in future, I want that value. I stored the data. In future, I want that particular 1000. So 1000 where you stored? 1000 where you stored? In this particular amount variable or not? So in future, if you want 1000, then that time, can I go with the amount? See, you can get the helpers also. Can I go with the amount? See, the amount 1000 stored or not? Got my point? Yes or no? Okay, now just compare this one with Java or C. Okay, in C, is it like a valid syntax? I will tell. In C, is it like a valid syntax? No, right? In C, the syntax is what? Or in Java, the syntax is what? In .NET, the syntax is what? First, the data type. Okay, and then the variable name, and then the initial value or not. Got my point? First, you need to mention the data type. Okay, so my data is what? Come on. Okay, just from back you can go. Okay, see this. The data is like a Sachin. Okay, what is the variable name? Recommended variable name is what? Name is my recommended variable name. Okay, here you need to mention the type of this particular variable or not. That is depending upon the data what you stored, that is the type. So which data you stored? It is like a string, right? So this is my string data. Got my point? It's my string data. Okay, but in my JavaScript, this is the code. It is valid or not? Just now only we executed. It is valid or invalid? It is like 100% valid or not. Now I want to show you the difference between this lines and this line. Okay, line number 19 and line number 21. Internally, what happened? Okay, see this. Line number 19, it's a Java code. Now come here, new, don't save it. Okay, let's take this one. Line number 19 is this one. String name equals to Sachin. Okay, now see, there has three parts are there. First one is like data type. Next one is like name. Okay, it's a variable name, and this is the variable value. See, in Java, .NET or C or some other, first, based on the data type, for this particular variable, they allocated some space. First, they allocated the space based on the data type. First, they allocated the space. So, okay, if in Java, there is 8 bytes memory they allocated for this particular guy. Okay, this is like 8 bytes. 8 bytes means it is a limited space or not? Yes or no? Limited space or not? Got my point? Okay, now in this limited space, okay, this limited space pointing with whom? Pointing with whom? The space is there. You have to give some address, right? Okay, so the address of this space is like name. Name is the address for this particular space. Once it is allocated space, after that he is going to keep that Sachin inside this space. That's it. That is the thing is happen in your Java, .NET, PHP. Okay, not PHP. Okay, C, CPP like this. Int amount equals to 100. Then what happened? In Java? First, based on the data type, they allocate some space or not. How much space based on the data type? 4 bytes memory. It's a limited space. Okay, pointing with what? Pointing with what? Amount. Okay, once it is done, okay, he keep like 100 here or not. So here, space allocated before storing the data or not? Come on, space allocated before storing the data or not? Yes or no? If my space is allocated before storing the data, that means my space is like limited space. Then that time, can I keep the data this much? Can I keep the data this much? Can I keep this data? This much data, can I keep it in the limited space? Possible or not possible? Not possible, right? Not possible, right? Yes or no? First, they allocated the space. In that space, how much you can keep, that much only it is allowed. Okay, more than that, if you try to keep it, then that time it gives me an error or not. Okay, let me show you that. Okay, go to Google. Okay, Java online editor. Java online editor. I preferred tutorial point 1. Okay, any one of this one you can use it. See this. This is my Java program. Don't think more about this one. Simply here I want to write int amount equals to 100 or 1000. Okay, that amount I want to print here. That's it. Amount I want to print here. Okay. Now can I run this? Can I execute this program? 1000. Perfect. For example, if I keep like this, will it work? Will it work? Will it work? Now see this. See this. Okay. The integer number is like too large or not? Too large or not? That means what? Hey, I already allocated some space for this particular variable. This much data I am not able to store in the limited space. Got my point? So they first allocate the memory and then they keep the data inside the memory or not. But come to my JavaScript. Okay, my JavaScript, if you observe, they not allocate the space. Okay, first time. Okay, whenever you use this particular variable, the variable contains which data? My variable contains which data? This much data. For this particular data, based on the data, they are going to allocate the space how much they required. See this like this. Got my point? That means my space allocated before at the time of using in my JS at the time of using dynamically or not. That's the reason my JavaScript is like a dynamically typed programming language like Python. My JavaScript is like what? A dynamically typed programming language or not. Whenever you required, okay, whenever you required, then only, okay, for this particular variable, they allocate the space or not. They allocate the space or not. Got my point? That's the reason my JavaScript is like what? Dynamically typed programming language. All are agreed with me? Okay, now can you go here? How much data you want? Okay, for example, data is like how much you want, that much you can put it. See this? There are not there. There are not there. Come on, is it gives me an error? Is it gives me an error? No error. Why? Okay, whenever you use this particular data, okay, like this, it's happening. Okay, whenever you use this data, then only dynamically they allocate the space for this particular one like this. Okay, how much is required, that much space allocate for that particular data or not. Dynamically they allocate the space or not. That's the reason we can say like what? JavaScript is a dynamically typed programming language. Color okay? Agreed with me? Okay. Now, come on. In JavaScript, okay. In JavaScript, data type is mandatory or not mandatory? JavaScript, data type is mandatory or not mandatory? Come on, data type is there or not there? It is not there or not. It is not a mandatory. Okay, it is not a mandatory. Got my point? So if you want to, okay, you written like multiple statements. If you want to clear that console, see how to work with console, I'm telling. If you want to clear that console, see this, there has one symbol is there, clear console. See this, click on that. It's cleared or not? Okay, now let me open a new tab. Can anyone answer this? In my console, I created one variable data equals to Sachin. Variable created, right? In my console, I'm telling variable created or not? Variable created. Okay, see my data. There or not there? My data variable holds Sachin. Yes, there. Now clear this console. Okay, now if I enter data, if I write data, Sachin there or not there? Okay, Sachin should be there. If I clear it, just you clear the console to write some extra code. Whatever the statements are executed, still there. Got my point? Come on. Okay, now I'm refreshing the page. See this, refreshing the page. Just I refreshed my page. Now can I write like data? Now my Sachin there or not there? What do you think? Sachin still remains or not? Now if you observe the data, okay, now say this, my data there is my data there? My data not there. Now one thing you have to learn from here, see the error message. Can anyone spell out? Data is not defined. Okay, we are focusing on error messages. Okay, we are going to focus on error messages frequently. Okay, minimum 10 to 15 error messages we are going to discuss. The error messages are very, very important. Why, in future, in your application, anytime if you see the error, you should know the root cause of that particular error. You can go and directly fix that error. Don't think, okay, like another, okay, why this error came, why this error came. Okay, you should know why that error came at this moment only. In future, in your application, if you see this error, directly you can come to know, oh, this is the reason. That's the reason this error thrown. Like that, you have to learn. Got my point? Okay, now can anyone conclude one statement now by seeing this one? When this kind of error you can get it? When this kind of error you can get? When this kind of error you can get? Ah, variable is not there. Still you are trying to use that variable. Still you are retrieving the data from that variable. Then that time you can get this error or not. Variable not defined, not declared, that variable data is not, okay, not executed. Still you are trying to take that variable or not. Then that time you can get this error or not. Okay, now you declare a variable, Sachin. Okay, yes. Now variable you declared. Yes, there. Okay, variable you declared there. Amount, there or not there? Amount you declared or not declared? Amount variable declared or not declared? Amount variable is not declared. Still you are trying to retrieve that amount variable data. Okay, then that time you can get like what? Then the time you can get like what? An error. What is that error? What is that error? What is that error? Data is not defined. Am I retrieving the data? Amount is the variable. Amount is not defined or not. Amount is not defined or not. Got my point? Okay, this variable name can be anything. This variable name can be anything. Okay, if that variable is not defined, still you are trying to use that variable, then the time you can get this error. Got my point? All are agreed? Okay, then it's a where it is stored means, okay, in the browser itself they stored this all. Okay, JavaScript engine is going to run in the browser, each and every browser, to execute your JavaScript code, to understand your JavaScript code, HTML code, and CSS code. My browser knows only three things, right? My browser can understand only three things. What are those? My browser can understand only three things. HTML it can understand, CSS it can understand, JavaScript it can understand. Other than that, my browser don't know anything. Got my point? Okay. Okay, then. See, as you said, you said like what? In JavaScript, okay, there is no data type, but, okay, in JavaScript, there has some data types also there. Okay, some data types also there. It is not exactly like Java. It is not exactly like Java. Okay, we have some data types. We can say like some keywords. Okay, what are those? One is like var data type. Another one is like let data type. Another one is like a constant data type. Var, let, and constant. Okay, this let and constant will discuss later. We'll discuss later. For now, okay, just you can use like a var data type. Now see, var, if I put here, see the difference. Here, name you defined with a string. So I can easily understand like it holds like a string data. Okay, here var name Sachin. Okay, var indicates a string. Okay, if I write like var amount equals to 100, is my var indicates like a, okay, var represents like a number. It is not like that. Var is a data type. Okay, it can hold any kind of data in JavaScript. Var is a data type, or let is a data type, or constant is a data type. It can hold any kind of data. It is not specific to number. It is not specific to string or something. So can we define now? Okay, can I refresh the page? If I refresh the page, whatever the statements you executed, those are like reset. Now, where amount equals to 100. Now, see my amount. Where name equals to Sachin. See my name. Where he pass. Can I put like true? Is he pass is like true. Where players equals to, just you can put like a Sachin, Dhoni, and Kohli. Kohli. Now see this. Okay, see my players. See my players. Yes. Got my point. Okay. Where, okay, OBJ equals to, name is like Sachin. Okay, the next one. Runs are like 20,000. 20,000. I will explain everything. I will explain. Don't worry about that one. See my OBJ. Now, our statement is like, where is a data type? It can hold any kind of data or not. Number data, string data, Boolean data. Okay, here it's what? It's what? A list, array data. And here it's what? It is an object data or not. Where is a data type? It can hold any kind of data or not. Okay, don't think more about this undefined. I will explain. Okay, it's a kind of confirmation. Hey, this statement executed without any errors. That is a kind of confirmation to my developer. Okay, to the developer. That's it. More than that, nothing. Got my point? All are agreed with me? Where is a data type? It can hold any kind of data or not. It can hold any kind of data. Okay, so without where is valid, with where also it is valid, but the difference, okay, there should be some difference, right? With where and without where. I will explain in the functions concept. Okay, up to here. Okay, how to create the variables in JavaScript to store some data in console. Okay, okay, then perfect. Now I have some small requirement. I have one small requirement. Okay, my requirement is like this. Okay, one person is there. He has two numbers, 10 and 20. How we can store the data 10 and 20? 10 and 20, how we can store it? Number one, number two. By using, okay, array also. By using variables, you can store it. By using variables, you can say, store it. Okay, the person one requires, okay, sum of these two numbers. Okay, how we can find the sum? Number one plus number two. Okay, now it gives me what? Number one plus number two gives me what? Gives me what? 30. That is also data, right? So can we hold the data with one variable? Sum. Okay, that sum, okay, you want, wherever you want, you can use it. Okay, first person requires this. Find the sum of 10, 20 number sum he requires. Second person is there. That person also requires the same. Okay, data is there. Same data is there. Okay, he also requires the sum of those two numbers data, and you can find the sum. Okay, like this, 10 persons are there. 10 persons also requires the same requirement. Same. Okay, 10 persons also requires the same functionality. Then that time you want me to repeat the same functionality again and again. Is it the recommended one? Tell me. Is it the recommended one? Obviously no, right? Obviously no, right? Any programming language you can take it, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, whatever it is. Duplicate code, writing the duplicate code is not a recommended one or not. Now, here the functionality required by multiple people or not. If any functionality required by multiple people, can you write that functionality only one place? Can I use it wherever you want? Can you ask them to use it? Yes or no? Come on. Okay, for that, first of all, you need to write the functionality. You need to tell him like what? You need to guide him. Hey, here is the functionality. Can you use it? Like that, you have to manage or not. So in JavaScript, if you want to handle some functionality, if you want to write some functionality, how we can write, where we can write, by writing the functions. So how we can write a function in JavaScript means very simple. We have one keyword is there, function is the keyword. After that, you can write your function name. After that, function representation, parenthesis. After that, your functionality, okay, body. Okay, functionality you can write here. This is your simple function syntax. Can easily understand or not? Function is a keyword. Okay, function name. Okay, the next one is like function representation, and my functionality right inside this braces function body. So can we write the function? Okay, function. Okay, function name also same like variable. Okay, you want me to put like get name for this particular function? You want me to write like this? You want me to write like this? Is it gives me the name or it's like finding the sum? Okay, so you can give this by seeing this particular function name. You should have to assume what kind of functionality it handle. Like that, your function name naming convention should be there. Okay, so here, okay, can I say like okay, find some, find some. Always better to use camel case. Okay, start with a small letter. In between any words are there, start with capital letter. It's a camel case. Okay, whatever the functionality is there, can we handle this functionality here? Okay, now who requires that functionality? Ask them, hey, here is my functionality which you required. Can you use it? So you return the functionality by using one function. You can use, you can ask them to use it or not. So how we can use? If you write the functionality, there is no use. Just you return some piece of code. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay. When you can get the services from the function, when you can get the services from the function, how you can use the function? By calling or not. So how we can call? My find sum. If you want to call, name is required or not required? Name is required. If you want to call a function, just call like this. That's it. Got my point? Simple. Come on, come on, you need to practice more. Yes or no? Okay, this one, this is sum. I want to print. I want to print in the console. Console.log of sum. That's it. So can we write the function? Okay, let's start it. Come on. In my console, let me refresh. Function is the keyword. Find sum. Okay, it can be anything. A also you can put it, no problem. But naming convention you can follow it. Function name, representation. Okay, open bracket. I want to go to the next line. I want to go to the next line. In console, if you want to go to the next line, shift to enter. Listen carefully. Shift, press shift and click on enter. See this. It come to the next line or not? I pressed shift. I am clicking on enter. Okay, if I go back, okay, click on the shift and backspace. Got my point? If you want to go to the next line, okay, in console, use shift to enter. Okay, now this is the one. Now inside this one, shift to enter, write your code. Write your code. Where number 1 equals to 10. Next line. Shift to enter. Where number 2 equals to 20. Next line. Shift to enter. Where sum equals to number 1 plus number 2. Next. Come on, shift to enter. Now console.log of sum. That's it. Now next line required or not required? Next line required or not required? Not required. So these statements has to be executed or not? Okay, how we can execute? Click on enter now. Now undefined. If you see, it means your program, whatever, your statements, whatever you return, those are like syntactically 100% valid, no errors. No errors. Okay, perfect. My function ready. Now how we can use it? How we can use the function? How we can use the function? Find sum. You can call it. Okay, how we can call? Like this, you can call it. Are you able to get the output? Say this. First person, second person, third person. How many times you want, that many times you can call it or not. Agreed with me? Okay, I need one thing. See this. If you observe this code, any programming language, you can take it. Any programming language, Java, .NET, PHP, whatever, any programming language you can take it. Semicolon is not a mandatory like Java. Okay, any programming language you can take it. Okay, you can call a function like this or not. Any programming language you can take it. You can call a function like this or not. Yes or no? Okay, here two parts are there. Here two parts are there. This is one part. This is one part. This is one part. Okay, now if you combined both, like this, see, this is a function call, right? It is a call, I can say. What I can call? I can call a function. I can call a function. Got my point? So if you see this type of code anywhere, my find sum should be what? This code, if you see somewhere, my find sum should be what? What I can call, if you see this one, I can call a function, right? I can call a function. So my function find sum should be a function or not? Okay, why? Because this is a syntax for calling. I can call only function. So the prefix value should be a function or not? Agree with me? Come on, come on, come on. Okay, now, okay, answer this question. Say, think. Where a equals to 10? A type is what? A is what? A is a variable. Perfect. Holds what? A is a variable only. A is a number. Can I say like A is a number? A is a number. Integer. A is a number. Okay. Where B equals to Sachin? B is what? It's a variable only. B is what? It's a string. Okay. My question is A is a function? Answer this. A is a function? No. A is a number. B is a function? No. B is a string. So if I write like this, is it valid or invalid? Line number 13. Valid or invalid? Valid or invalid? 100% invalid or not? Why? Why? Any programming language you can take it. If I see the code like this, my A should be what? My A should be what? A should be what? A function. A should be a function. Should be a function. But here, A is what? A is what? A is a number, right? A is a number. That means number is not a function, right? Can I say A is not a function? Can I say A is not a function? Can I execute that statement now? Where A equals to 10, now, if I write like this, see this. See this. Read it. Read that error. Read that error. Read that error. Read that error. Your error only, right? You only told, right? A is not a function. Yes, sir. Okay. B equals to Sachin. If I write like this, come on. If I write like this, what is the answer? Error. What is that error? Perfect. Same error. B is not a function or not. Anywhere, if you see the see the error message like this, what you can understand in your mind should think like this. Hey, if you see the error message like this, you can understand like what? Expecting a function, but that function is not coming. Okay, expecting a function, that statement expecting a function, but that particular one is not a function. Okay, so that you have to go there. Why it is not a function? You have to go and you have to check and you have to find the solution or not. Yes or no? Okay, so two error messages we discussed. One is like what? One is like what? one variable is not defined, data is not defined, not one variable is not defined, still you are trying to use it, then the time that variable is not defined, you can get it or not. One variable is not declared or defined, not execute that statement, still you are trying to use that variable, then the time you can get this error or not. Okay, another one is what? Expecting a function but received other than function, right? We are expecting a function here. By this statement always tells like what? A should be a function. Why? Because functions only we can call it. Expecting a function but received what? Other than function. A is not a function or not. Got my point? Come on. Okay. Okay then. Okay, remaining things we'll see in tomorrow's class. Your assignment is like, okay, create a variables in my console. Okay, try to get these two errors and fix it. Okay, first of all, these two errors, okay, reproduce it. That means see the errors in your console. Reproduce that errors first. Reproduce that errors in the console. Reproduce that errors in your console. Okay, and then fix that errors. And then fix that errors. Anyone have a WhatsApp link? Just you can share it. I will share. Got my point? Okay, just try to use the console today. Try to use the console today. Okay, practice how you want, you can practice. Okay, okay, by seeing that error also you can come to know, oh, like this we should not. Getting the errors are like very important. Okay, getting the errors are very important. Once you get the error, read that error message properly. Don't afraid of by seeing that red. Okay, just read that red text. Read that error properly. Okay, you only come to know. Got my point? Okay, one time if the error message is not understand, just you can read the error message multiple times. Okay, like that you can practice. Okay, so HTML and CSS and Bootstrap you can complete first. Okay, this is the WhatsApp link just I shared. HTML, CSS, Bootstrap complete first, and then variables and create a function in your console. Okay, two errors, reproduce the two errors. That is your assignment. Okay. Okay, today onwards, okay, you need to practice more. Minimum half an hour you have to practice, half an hour to 1 hour. Okay, it may not copy, just click. It's like clickable link, I guess. Okay, not a function, how to solve it? That one I will tell. I will tell. I will tell. Okay. Okay, then thank you guys. Thanks for joining. Bye. Yeah, I will explain Flux. Okay, as I said, I need to prepare some notes. Okay, I will give you the notes. Okay, then you can easily understand that one. Okay, give me some time. What is anonymous? All these things will cover. All these things will cover. Okay, I will tell. No name functions anonymous. If the function is not having the name, that is anonymous. Okay, we'll tell. Okay, thank you guys. Bye.